Look at my absolute disaster of a garage. This is an embarrassment. But this is what happens when you got 3 kids and bikes, and I got all my junk from my project out right now. But we're getting to where I can get this cleaned up now. So this is kind of a follow-up video to the last one I just posted on my rear end swap. So let's get down here. So as you can see, we got her bolted in. Everything's welded up. Everything lines up really good. Everything's been tightened down. I got the brake drums all cleaned up, wheels bolted on, and I threw a tape measure on everything. And centered left and right, we were right on the money for distance from the frame. And I measured back to the axle on a couple holes that were in the side of the frame, and we were just right on the money as far as it being square with the frame wheels distance front to back too. So it came out really good. I'm really excited about that for having never tried something like this before. Couple things left to do. I need to get the dust covers on the inside of the brakes there. There's some little openings where you can adjust the brake adjuster. I need to get those covered up. You can see the parking brake cables laying down. I got both of those. I need to figure out where to route those up to the front and hopefully hook those up at some point to be able to use the parking brake would be nice. What else? The little breather, the little vent breather I gotta kind of secure up there. But my wife's gonna drop off the driveline tomorrow morning for me. That's right here. Gonna get 1.5 inches taken out of it, and then we'll get that bolted in. I did have to make some relief cuts, which is what I'd figured on this. It looks pretty nasty right now, but we're gonna get it all buttoned up. I'm gonna cut just another couple inches out of this board here, so that won't hit that. And then I'm gonna go over the top of it with probably some 1/4-inch diamond plate to cover that up. And then again, like I said, we're gonna put pockets on the side of this with an outside strap that'll kind of clean up the outside so you won't see a space here. So we're gonna get that done here in the next couple weeks too, I hope, along with that back piece. But this swap went really good. I was able to reuse the brake lines, the original brake lines. And let me see if I can crawl down underneath here without getting too dirty. So the original brake lines, they have this shield on them, this coiled shield that goes over. So this is the sway bar bracket that I cut off of the old axle. And it has a hole in it. And amazingly, it's just in the right spot where this thing fed through and was able to go up and over, and I could use the same thing. I added a little bracket here to the back just to add some extra strength on that because I wasn't able to weld. I didn't want to pull the axle all the way back out just to weld this on after I got it positioned. So I couldn't get and weld a real good bead on the top up here. So I just added a bracket there at a 1/4-inch plate to add some extra strength. Kind of shot it with some paint here. Got my lowering blocks in. Those were in the other one as well. Where the soft line comes down from the top here is on the opposite side. The old axle, it came down right here. So my brake line that came in from the top here, I had to run a little, you can see it right there. I had to run a copper line that I pulled off the old axle to run from this side of the frame across the top to connect into where the soft line comes down. So I'm just gonna use that as a template. I'm gonna drive it a little bit, make sure everything works, but I'm gonna get a steel line, brake line, and just follow the bends and kind of match it and replace that copper with that steel just to make it a little more reliable. But everything's really straight and square. I'm surprised, having never tried this before. It's definitely doable. I would say I have I don't know, maybe 4 hours into it up until this far. So just doing this out of my garage with not a lot of equipment, it really wasn't too bad. Just use a little angle grinder to grind everything off, with some cutting wheels on there. And one thing I do have though that's been really nice is this little 220 Miller Thunderbolt welder that my dad gave me, and I got that wired in, that stick welder, and that worked really good. Then I was able to weld on the brackets, the perches, and everything for this. So got the brakes all bled. We're ready to go as soon as we get that drive line in there and secure those parking brake lines. So I can't wait to drive it and see what it's like. We'll make a video of that, and anybody wanting to try this, definitely doable. If I can do it, you can too. I would say it's definitely going to be a huge upgrade from what this thing is. So there's a lot of these trucks out there, and a lot of them with the 3/4 ton, the older style, that are stuck with this Eaton rear end. There's not a lot of options for gear ratios, and so you're kind of stuck with this. But you can pick these GM axles up anywhere for, you know, $100, $200, maybe a little more depending on the condition. You can buy the perches off of eBay for $20. They have the angles cut. You have to grind them open a little bit more because the axle tube's a little bit different size. But you buy those and weld them in, and I mean, you could do it in a weekend, no problem. So that's what I did on mine. And stay tuned. Thanks for watching.